if you're wondering why I'm wearing the same hoodie, is because I don't usually like wear tops or hoodies when it's this weather, but obviously when I come on video, I'm just picking the nearest clothes near me. So you're gonna see this hoodie probably for a lot of videos. So welcome to another video. You're seeing this on the Wednesday, which is the week after, well, exactly 7 days after one of the most historic wins in our history. That night in Prague against Fiorentina, where we beat them 2-1. And in my match reaction, I was just so shocked. I was so gassed. I didn't know what to say, so I just started saying things. When I ended the match reaction, I'm like, I probably could have said more, but it probably should have been a better match reaction, but it was more of a, oh my god, I can't believe it happened. So I'm basically going to take you back a week and talk about the game, the build up to the game. I'm going to talk about the parade, the changing room vibes, and other stuff as well. And I'm going to start with going back to Alkmaar. I've never been more nervous. I was never more nervous before the second leg of the game against Alkmaar, where we should have killed them in the first leg. They slowed the game down a lot, diving a lot, on the floor a lot, where it is, away from home, tactics, whatever. Their manager was giving it a lot about not impressed with their fullbacks. We could run at them a lot, and he was chatting about a bag of shit. They take the lead. Areola and Souček should do better. Souček should close them down. Areola should probably save it. Yeah, we end up winning 2-1. I think we got Ben Rama penalty and an Antonio header. And then we made it 2-1. I'm happy that we won the game eventually, but I wasn't happy with the fact that we only got a 1-goal lead. Now, going to the second leg, I was really nervous, and I bought a bag of drinks from Sainsbury's and just started drinking before the semi-final to calm down my nerves, and I needed that. Trust me, I needed that because I was so nervous, and that felt like the final in itself. That felt like a first final in itself because we was getting to the final, and we played. I wouldn't say we played shit. I think we did the job because the game plan was to defend and hit on the counter. Players like Paqueta were playing really well, like Rice was doing well. Well, Rice could have done better, but Cresswell impressed, and like our back four was crucial. Man who really impressed that game was Tilo Kehrer. Antonio was holding it up, and it was just great game management from the manager as well. Like, I don't like the sitting back stuff in the Premier League, but in Europe, we come up against the teams that just pass the ball around side to side, and it works. We've seen it work against Fiorentina and Alkmaar, and it just worked. And Ings came on, he did well. He did well for both of the games when he came on against Alkmaar, and Pablo Fornal, super sub, nutmegged the guy, and it was like, the game's over now. When Pablo first touched the ball, I was like, yes, the game's over, just run it into the corner. I was expecting him to like run it into the corner or just like maybe run it, and then the guy tackles him, goes out for a throw. But no, the guy runs up, nutmegs him, and scores. And then that's like a proper semi-final moment. I talked about it in the match reaction. In the 18-19 season in the Champions League, you had the Origi goal and a Lucas Moura goal. And both of those goals were like the moments of getting Liverpool and Tottenham into the final, and those goals went down in history in the Champions League because of, well, they were both two great comebacks, and those goals were class. We didn't need to come back in the second leg, but we confirmed it by scoring right at the end. And then we get into the final, 10 days, beat Leeds, lose to Leicester. No one cares really. Doesn't really matter. The final. On the day, as I said, I needed drink. I needed a lot of drinks. I didn't even get time to drink because I had such a big dinner that I couldn't fill myself with the drink anymore. I didn't have time before the game, and I didn't want to watch a build-up. I didn't want to look up anything to do with West Ham. I was trying not to think about the game. I was trying to watch YouTube videos, distract myself, play some games, whatever. Do whatever I can to distract myself. And I saw the lineup. I was like, Emerson, fair enough. I was surprised he didn't go with Cresswell because that's his guy. That's his guy. But I think he started Emerson for that experience in the final, and boy, did that pay off. We had the usual team. Kera was unlucky not to start. He was amazing against Alkmaar in the second leg, and but Sufa had to start in his hometown, because not just for the sentimental value, but you're not going to lose in your hometown, or in your home stadium, and him and Souček did the jobs properly. They did what they needed to do. Like, it wasn't anything outstanding. It was just the fact that they did their jobs defensively. Do I think that Sufa and Souček should be in the future of West Ham? Not really. I think Souček maybe should probably still leave, but he would leave a hero, because he won a trophy with us and he was part of a couple great teams. A great team at West Ham that got into Europe in the first place. And it starts off in that final where KG first half, like, they're diving around, and again, another manager that was chatting shit, just talking about tactical fouls, and I thought it was just mind games. I thought he wasn't actually going to do it, but then you realise they're an Italian team, and these Italian teams do this. You see in England now, you see in Spain, you see in the Dutch league with Alkmaar. I think they tried to trigger us. I don't think tactical fouls was the right thing to do, because I don't know, it didn't really trigger many players. It was just Antonio and Sufa like to lose their heads quite a bit. And those are the only two players that probably didn't keep their heads. But I wouldn't say that in a press conference, because they know what to expect. And they learned not to lose their heads after having European experience in the Europa League. And listen, it went to half-time, 0-0, whatever. Didn't do good enough, but I've said from the beginning of the competition, we're going to win this. I was still nervous, obviously, because it's my club. But I was never more sure in my head of seeing us lift something. But when Benrahma scored that penalty, I didn't do anything. I didn't celebrate either goal. And I'm going to explain. The first goal, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's still like 30 minutes left. Calm down. Everyone's singing. It's nice atmosphere. Watching the game with my mum. My mum's going mad. West Ham. My parents are West Ham fans as well. A lot of my family are West Ham fans, and it's just watching the game with her, and then they score like 5 minutes later. Was it? I watched the game back like last week. I think I watched it a day after the parade, like on a Saturday. 2 days after the parade, that would have been. And they scored, and I was like, for fuck's sake, can't hold on for like 3 minutes. I remember saying that. And it was getting tense. I was even saying Danny Ings should come on. Antonio worked his socks off, but couldn't get grips of the game, and they were trying to piss him off a bit too much. And they were winning too many fouls. With Danny Ings, you're not going to win too many fouls off him. You're not going to rattle him as much. He's a different type of striker. All of a sudden, Souček kind of like misplaces something. Lucas Paqueta through ball. Jared Bowen scores. It bubbled in, and I still didn't celebrate. And I'm explaining why. I was like, get to the final whistle now. Get to the final whistle. I was just in shock. Like, I didn't know how to react. Like, I couldn't believe that we had that moment. Like, I just sat there. I was like this. And, like, I was just waiting for the final whistle. And when the final whistle happened, I couldn't believe it. Because, like, there was a lot of added time. I didn't understand why there was extra added time, because we didn't waste that much time celebrating. I would have understood like a minute, but I think it was a bit longer than a minute. Or at least it felt like it anyway, if I'm wrong. And then we won it. still in shock till this day. A week later, I am still in shock. And what a way to like end the season, a horrid season. And we're gonna go through that this week. You're seeing this on a Wednesday. I'm recording this on a Tuesday night, 10 to 11. And on Thursday and Friday, I'm going to talk about David Moyes. By the way, unless there's any I might do a double upload if there's breaking news. But unless it's breaking news, I'm going to talk about David Moyes. And then I'm going to talk about the West Ham season review. I'm going to go through the season as a whole, how I felt throughout the season, and so on. And there's been a lot of new subscribers, so thank you recently. And we're going to talk about the parade. I've got a lot of support recently, ever since we've won that final on this channel. And yeah, it's mental. On 158 subscribers. And we go into Thursday, which is weird because I keep forgetting that we didn't play the final on a Thursday because it's a Conference League. Like, usually play on a Thursday. And I thought it was Friday at the time, but Thursday, Friday, whatever. Not important at all. Figuring out like where to go to, like, for the parade, we'll go Stratford. And every time, 3 minutes and the guys will be here. I had to wait an extra like half an hour than usual. Yeah, it was taking a long time. Legs were killing me, standing in the same place for 4 hours. I could barely see because the fucking little kid just put a flag in front of us all the time. He wasn't even waving the flag. He literally just held up the flag. No self-awareness. So we couldn't see for a little bit. A lot of people that were 6 foot, so that's my weakness. But in the end, they got there. And obviously, I would have loved to see the open top bus. I would have loved to be there for that, of the bus passing by. But we got to see them on the balcony bit. Paqueta managing to find a way to dance to every song, even the I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles song. Like, he even danced to that. What a guy. Tilo Kehrer. If you watch back throughout the clips, all the way from where Upton Park is, all the way to Stratford, like Green Street and all that, Tilo Kehrer is the main man throughout all of that. The man has always embraced the club ever since. Like, he's become straight in. He's just embraced the club quickly, and he's gone through a lot this season and made a lot of mistakes, but he's also had a lot of good games as well. And it's been hard for him because you need to give someone a chance to settle in. He's been used as a scapegoat a couple of times as well. He started the season quite well as well, Tilo. At Southampton away, we had so many injuries that our back three was Johnson, Kehrer, and Cresswell. So he was the central centre-back, and he's not even really a centre-back in my opinion, even though he thinks that's his best position. He knows himself more than I do. He was the central centre-back, and he was suffering a lot, but he played well, and the crowd were chanting, Tilo, Tilo, Tilo. And we didn't hear that chant until now, when we get the chant back. And I hope he kicks on, because he could be like crucial for the rest of his career at this club. And I'm really happy he has signed. Passing range, both feet, right back, left back. Well, he can't really play left back, like I talked about Leeds away. But moving on, at the parade, he was sensational. He was starting chants. He was like grabbing a microphone. The whole Irons thing is really funny. Like, just the whole, like, he was saying it throughout the whole thing. Like, watching the behind the scenes and for the parade, amazing. That squad unity. I never thought I would see like a parade at West Ham United, but yeah, and we're here now, and I still can't believe that we won the game. I might watch the game back again because I want to. But wow, what's a fucking game, man. What's a day the parade was, and it was all worth it in the end. I've got a flag in the background. I'll bring it out next video. I forgot to bring out the previous video, but yeah, that's just my whole take on everything. That's how I was feeling. throughout the whole thing, and I don't even know what to title this video at this current moment, but I'll figure it out. If you guys did like the video though, leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me, and the email for any inquiries. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.